Desi Dolan from Westmeath, and a reminder of the glory days of Down football. James McCartan is with us as well. There's only one place we can start tonight though, Semple Stadium in Thurles, where the Tipperary footballers took on Cork. Remember, it's more than 70 years since Tip have beaten Cork in the football championship. This proved to be quite an occasion, and Pat McAuliffe was there to witness it.
Today at Semple Stadium, Tipperary created their own little bit of history with their first Munster Senior Championship win over Cork since way back in 1944. Led by boss Liam Kearns, who had managed Limerick to a famous provincial win over the Leesiders in 2003. This dramatic match burst into life after 8 minutes. With the sides level, Tipperary forward Kevin O'Halloran was brought down and a penalty was awarded by Roscommon referee Paddy Nealon. But captain Peter Aikeson's penalty kick was brilliantly saved by Cork goalkeeper Ryan Price. But Tipperary were rewarded for their early invention when playing against the very strong wind. They scored a first goal. A fine team move saw Conor Sweeney finish the ball to the back of Ryan Price's net. They would, however, then stretch their advantage with a second goal just at half-time, when full forward Michael Quinlivan struck first-time shot in off goalkeeper Price after this good work from forward Brian Fox. His first half total of 1 goal and 3 points helped Tipperary into 2-7 to 6 points half-time advantage. Cork got back into the match when deep in trouble following a fine team move. Mark Collins was on the end to goal and leave just 5 points between the sides. But then a poor kick out from goalkeeper Price was punished by the lively half-forward Fox, who had set up 1 goal to finish this for Tipperary's 3rd goal of the game. And again, Tip in pole position for victory. Peadar Healy's side, however, emptied the bench and they fought back with a second Collins goal, which took a deflection in a packed goalmouth. And skipper Paul Kerrigan then kicked an equalising score in the 70th minute with the sides level. It was Cork's 7th score in a row. The Premier County, however, pulled off a famous victory when Kevin O'Halloran, who ended with 6 points, landed first of all a stoppage time 45 and then a late free to send his side into the Munster final meeting with Kerry and a first win over the Rebels in the championship in 72 years. It ended in Semple Stadium, Tipperary 3 goals and 15 points, Cork 2 goals and 16 points.
Nobody gave us a chance. I think he could have backed us at 7-1 with the bookies, and I hope a few people did, because we were giving ourselves a chance, all right, but it was just great to win.
You'd have to give great credit to Tip. We certainly didn't underestimate Tipperary coming up here today. They got off to a great start, and I'd have to give credit to my own players to bring it back to level. And Tipperary kicked on towards the end there with the 50 and a free, and they're worthy champions, and they deserve their win.
Yeah, it's a fantastic victory. And Desi Dolan, you had your days when Westmeath were considered underdogs like that. You must identify with that achievement.
It's an incredible achievement, and Liam Kearns would have taken that job with a lot of optimism at the start of the year. Like Peter Creedon did a good job up to that. But like he was missing straight away Stephen O'Brien, Colin O'Riordan as well, and they're 2 players with an awful lot of experience.
And several more, I think.
And several more. A few lads went to America as well. So all the signs were that Cork were going to win. They were 9 points up with 8 minutes to go. They missed the penalty. Cork brought it back to level in injury time. So it looked like the momentum was with Cork. And then Kevin O'Halloran stepped up and kicked 2 points in injury time to win the game. And then they finished with 14 men. So the game had absolutely everything. They scored 3-15, I think it was. An incredible match, an incredible performance, and fair play to Liam Kearns. Like, it was a massive win for him as well. Yeah,
and James, you were telling me you've been an admirer of Tip football for a few years now.
Yeah, we came across them in the league and then in championship football in 2012. And they have a lot of players that have been toiling at the coalface there for a long time. Philip Austin, Peter Atchison, Brian Fox, fantastic forwards. Well, and look, I think the county's full of good footballers. Just a wee bit disappointing there was only less than 3,000 people there to watch it. Such a fantastic result for them.
Well, I'm delighted to say that we're joined by the Tipperary football manager, Liam Kearns. So, Liam, congratulations to you, first of all. We invited you to join us to talk about the great achievement. The reason you couldn't join us, though, is that you had a double celebration. Tell us about it.
Yeah, there's my daughter gave birth to my first granddaughter today, so we've had double celebrations today. We're delighted.
Well, congratulations to them. I hope all is good. It's a great story. Going back to the match, though, the loss of all the players that Tipperary lost this year, how significant was that, and did it affect your enthusiasm and belief for this game?
Yeah, well, look, we were taking a lot of knocks all the way through the year, really. Before we started, we lost 5 or 6 players. The Clonmel Commercials boys were involved with their club, and that affected us for the league. And then we had a big injury list for the whole year, to be honest with you. And then I suppose the final hit then was 3 or 4 of our younger fellas going to America. So yeah, we took a lot of hits. But in fairness, once the injuries cleared up, we knew we still had the nucleus of a good team. And the boys, stuck together and worked really hard, and I'm just so delighted for them that they got the fruits of their labour today by the win that they achieved. And they created history really. At 1944, it's a long time, and I'm delighted that this group of players managed to pull it off.
Yeah, I know you were part of a Limerick team that had great success as well, but what was it like in the dressing room afterwards when it was just your own group together?
Yeah, it was very satisfying, and we all stayed behind and sat down and had a good chat and let it sink in. And they were very close 2 years ago against Cork and had a snatch from them at the death. And it was really important that it didn't happen again today, and it almost did, because we played really great football for two-thirds or three-quarters of the game. And then, in the last 10 minutes, we ran out of legs a little bit. And I suppose the injuries and the fact that fellas weren't able to train as well as they would have liked caught up on us a little bit. But thankfully, we held on. And finally, you're now bringing Tip to your own backyard of Kerry. Are you looking forward to that? Yeah, well, I've been there before with Limerick, and Kerry don't give you anything too easily. They're in Killarney. They have us in Killarney as well, so that's a pity. Also, we'd like to have gone to Semple Stadium with it. But look, Kerry are Kerry, and they're the Munster kingpins for years. And I suppose at the end of the day, all of these players, none of them have played in a Munster final, and it's all hat to the Kerry boys. But we'll be going there to give it every ounce we have, and give it, we'll give it everything we have, and hopefully we'll give our best performance, and we'll see where that takes us. That's what I said before this game, that if the lads gave their best performance, I take the result, and in fairness, they gave that, and we got a great result. So we'll take the same attitude going into the Munster final, please God. Good for you, and that big Killarney pitch will suit those Tip lads as well. They're young. Listen, congratulations, well done, and congratulations to the whole family and to the Tip footballers. It's great for them. On the other hand, though, for Cork, I know Cork keep getting lashed, and the poor old players and the new management who come in, they've been getting stick for a couple of years, but it's not good, Desi, for
no,
a big
and Brian Cuthbert took an awful lot of flack last year. They got beaten by Kildare, I think it was, in the qualifiers, after playing exceptionally well down in Killarney the first day. But it is disappointing. They have an incredible record under 21. I think it's 10 out of 11 under 21, so you wouldn't say there's a problem with the underage. It's very disappointing. Patter Healy be incredibly disappointed tonight. They're heading for the qualifiers. This is a proud county, and not to take away from Tipperary's performance, but you would expect an awful lot more from Cork.
Yeah. Yourselves, of course, you met Cork in the 2010 All-Ireland final. They have come down a long way from those heady days, that team with Conor Coonan.
Well, the two teams down and Cork have both relegated from Division 1. You'd imagine that Cork will probably find an easier route back than maybe down at the minute, because they have the conveyor belt of underage talent coming through. But look, it's not nice. But you don't want to take away from Tipperary's win. You don't want to be saying that Cork are underachieving or whatever. Magnificent win for Tipperary, and maybe concentrate on that.
OK, good for them. All right then. So the first thing the Tip players wanted to know was who would they meet in the final, because Kerry met Clare in Killarney, and watching this one for us was Des Curran.
With other All-Ireland contenders having already fired their opening salvos, Kerry's first championship outing of the year would have drawn plenty of eyes to Fitzgerald Stadium as they opened their campaign against Clare. With both sides looking for a positive start, it was Kerry who found it. Less than a minute and a half played when Colm Cooper's effort deceived Joe Hayes and ended up in the net. David Tubridy registered Clare's first point from a free before Stephen O'Brien stepped forward with a goal and 2 points in a 2.5-minute spell as Kerry surged into a 7-point lead. Clare boss Colm Collins had made 2 changes to the matchday programme, with Shane McGrath and Podge Collins coming in, and it was the dual stars' pace and trickery that was causing the Kerry defence problems as Clare looked to claw their way back into it. The sides then shared the next 4 points before Brian Sheehan free, and 2 further points from Stephen O'Brien extended Kerry's lead to 2-7 to 4 points, though O'Brien was just a whisker away from a third Kerry goal. An eventful half for Podge Collins took a further twist when his day was ended prematurely by a black card for this trip on Tadhg Morley. Killian Young then popped up at the end of a fluid Kerry move to kick a fine point with half-time looming. But the final word came from Clare's Pierce Lillis. Collins' replacement firing over as the sides retired at the break, with Kerry on top 2-10 to 9 points. Eamon Fitzmaurice's charges resumed in a point-scoring mood, Darren O'Sullivan adding his name to the list of scorers with a brace in the early minutes of the second half, before the impressive Colm Cooper, always an influence, tacked over another to make it a 10-point game. Clare had put it up to Kerry in the last meeting of these two in the provincial semi-final of 2014, running the eventual All-Ireland winners to 4 points in Ennis. But any hope of a comeback today may have hinged on this moment. Jamie Malone carving through the Kerry defence, only to be denied by a sharp save from Brian Kelly. In half, Barry John Keane announcing his arrival with 2 well-taken scores. Clare heads never dropped though, and Lillis kept the scoreboard ticking over. But Kerry were always in control, Rathmore's Paul Murphy getting his reward for an industrious display as Clare were kept comfortably at arm's length. The final score came from Anthony Marr on his first appearance since the National League final. 223 to 17 points it ended in Killarney as Kerry got up and running in pretty impressive fashion.
We got a great start, and when you get goals like that, and it breathed life into our challenge, and it probably sucked a bit of life out of the Clare challenge. But to be fair to Clare, they kept coming at us, and you know, they put up a big score. They got 17 points, which on other days would win you games. So that's definitely something that we'll have to look at.
I thought that in a couple of places that we didn't really put in a good shift. But listen, we're still there. I mean, the Munster Championship is over, and best of luck to Kerry in that, and we're in the qualifiers, and we'll give it our best to see and get as far as we can in those.
James, did it surprise you that Eamon Fitzmaurice dropped a few big names like David Moore and Mark O'Shea?
Well, look, any day you can blood new players and still get a win, I think it's a good day. I can see similarities between them and Donegal, with the likes of Carl Lacey and Colm McFadden, Neil Gallagher not getting any younger. So look, as I say, if you can get young players into the team and still win, I think it's fine.
And they'll be hungrier to get back in now, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about Clare? I mean, they've had a very good year. Division 2 is a huge achievement for them.
Yeah.
They have the qualifiers. What do you think their chances are?
In fairness, it's been a massive year, and I don't think Colm, you can see he's physically disappointed. I don't think he has a reason to be. They scored 17 points down in Killarney. They gave a great account of themselves. They were unfortunate. 2 sucker punches early. Colm Cooper got a goal after 65 seconds, and that was something that the last thing they would have needed. Podge Collins got a black card and things like that. But at the end of the day, they stuck at it, scored 17 points. They will be disappointed, but their season will probably be defined by that league. Hopefully they can win a few games in the qualifiers. Probably won't be bringing home Sam Maguire, but it's all a learning process, and that's what Colm Collins has to take out of it.
Good, OK. Well, next we head for the last of the Ulster quarter-finals as Donegal